that's crazy. At first, I thought this was gonna be in black and white, but it wasn't, which is fantastic. Um, my friend's texting me, not a problem. I wish I could respond to him. This is like my first time being live on YouTube. Pardon me, just gonna readjust. So it's like a learning process here, but um, happy to be here. I want to see if I can like put like the comments that I got from that poll or like I don't know the post that I made on here just so that I can refer to them because I still need like a good setup for YouTube. Unfortunately, I literally just have two iPads and a phone. That's all I got here. So I appreciate you guys for like sticking through. Hi. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Geez Louise, it's been a crazy past few weeks. I didn't really anticipate the love and support just because I'm so used to people just criticizing me for my opinions and me speaking my mind. So it's quite something to, adjust to and yeah, just I can't explain my experiences enough. Like when I was in college, it was quite awful. It was a lot of I guess trauma. I hate saying that because it sounds so like weak, but yeah, just being like scarred into like just being silent. I just didn't want to talk about anything that was somewhat right wing, right? It isn't like I wasn't like a conservative then, but I wasn't like a full Democrat, obviously, and they just ostracized me for it. Hair on fleek. Oh my god, thank you. I just like took it out. I had it in a ponytail. It fell somewhere. But I had it in a beanie. So like I'm gonna meet up with my friend later. We're gonna watch the new movie. So this says like selfie. So my hair was like in the beanie. I don't know. I got into like a little Twitter match yesterday. This guy was talking about my hair and saying not very nice things. And I'm just like, you know what? You're probably just jealous. But anyways, thank you. So let me just pull up that like poll. I think I could do it on my iPad. Let's see. Oh, post. Wonderful. So we did the post. Yay. I'm happy. Also, I'm glad that you're here. I don't know if I should wait for more people or just keep going or if this is going to be recorded. I don't know. See, like, I'm still new to, like, the whole YouTube live thing. I've gone live before. Hi. I've gone on, like, TikTok. Never on Instagram. Sometimes on Twitter, but rarely because it's just Twitter's weird, right? Do I need money? I wouldn't say like particularly. Like also, hi Zingy, hi. Is it B Wash Films? Let me know if I'm saying that correctly. But do I need money? I mean, I have a really good job. Why is my hair like? What? Okay, I have a really good job. Jeez, it's like the bank's too short. And I make decent money. I was actually just looking at apartments because I want to move, and I was just looking at how expensive they were, and I'm just like, wow, I'm either gonna have to save up or get a better job. And my job doesn't pay like bad. It's just it's not what I need to move to where I want to move to. I want to move to California just for peace of mind, sanity, things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Why are you gonna give me money? I also don't have like a setup yet. I haven't really invested into like a whole YouTube setup just because I didn't anticipate YouTube. I honestly like. I know some people were like, "Oh, this is like." Some people were like commenting on my one video, right, where I explained about me leaving the left. They're like, "Oh, this is like a fake video. It's like, I don't know. It's like a what's the word like." It's like staged or something. I don't know. It's literally not. I was literally just speaking from my heart. Like I was on a work shift. I was on my lunch break, so I was working, and I always take my lunch break outside because I needed to like physically touch grass. If I'm not touching grass at like during my shift, I kind of like I get really irritated and just I need to go outside. So I went outside, and just after learning about Charlie's death, and just being assassinated, right? I just like I need to go outside, and the Lord was moving me to like speak about it. I just felt moved to speak, so I did. Just by oh my god, thank you so much. Like, can I like this? Wait, how do I? Oh, I did. I liked it. Yay! Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Just buy a house. I asked ChatGPT. I said, should I buy a house or rent? And they're like, well, if where you want to live, it's gonna probably be cheaper to rent. And I was like, well, I don't know. With my job, right, I work in finance. I have a lot of clients. Some of my clients are in California, and I go through their finances. And I see how much they make and what their mortgages are. And I'm like, your mortgage is less than my rent, and I'm in Philadelphia. So that's that's great, you know? But anyways, hello, how beautiful you are. Hi, Randy. Nice to meet you. Welcome to my live. This is the first time I've gone live. Not like ever. I've gone live before, but not on YouTube. This is like quite a new thing for me. I'm actually quite, I guess, a little bit overwhelmed, to say the least. But it's really fun. I like being able to interact with you guys. I don't know if there's like people on here because people were asking me questions and I wanted to go over them. So I do have them pulled up on here, which is fabulous. So, pleasure. What do you do in life? What do I do in life? Okay, so I do a lot of things. In fact, my ex would tell me that I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. I actually think that came from a place of like insecurity and jealousy, just because, yes, it's true. I do a lot. I have a full time job. I also love to stay active, do calisthenics, Pilates. I am very, very flexible. Fun fact, I did contortion, gymnastics, lyra, silks, trapeze, when I was younger, like in high school, just like 8 years ago at this point. But I'm still very flexible because I like to, practice those skills because I don't want to be like one of those older adults who can't even bend over. I mean, to me, that'd be embarrassing just for me because I've done gymnastics before, right? So I just don't want to lose that skill. I make music. I love to read. So I'll show you guys the books that I'm reading. So I'm just going to scooch over here and grab my books so you guys can see them. So I'm reading Prayers and Promises for Women, and I'm also reading Rediscovering Jesus or Rediscover Jesus, and this really cute bookmark my grandmother got me. It actually has my name on it. Like it says, well, not there, but it's here. There we go. Raven. It's flipped, but yeah, I'm reading these books. I'm on chapter 24 for Rediscover Jesus. And for this one, what I love to do is I love to let God choose for me. So I'll just flip open a random page and I'll read it. So I'm just going to read this one for now. If you're not religious, you can, just ignore whatever. But this one that we landed on right now, because it's God willing, right? Is boldness. So he proclaimed the kingdom of God and taught about the Lord Jesus Christ with all boldness and without hindrance. And that is Acts 28:31, New English Version. And then we also have sinners run away even when no one is chasing them. But those who do what is right are as bold as lions. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 1. And then on the day I called you, you answered me. You made me strong and brave. Psalm 138, verse 3. So that's chapter 138, right? And we have, let us come boldly to the throne of our gracious God. There we will receive his mercy and we will find grace to help us when we need it most. And that is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 16. And then the last part here is Creator God. It's a prayer, right? So Creator God, what is beyond your capability? Oh my gosh, let me just do that again. Creator God, what is beyond your capability? What task are you unqualified for? When I feel overwhelmed and incapable, help me remember that I shouldn't panic. We are in this together, and your awesomeness. And your awesomeness more than makes up for my shortcomings. When I lack confidence, let me find it in you. Infuse me with your ability to be bold. If this work I do is for you, I cannot fail. Sorry, the reason why I kind of like stumbled over that last part is because I majored in linguistics, right? And I took, linguistics covers a wide range of subjects. So we have grammar, we have semantics, we have syntax, phonetics, and phonology. So for one of those things, I was just kind of like, I wouldn't say it like that, but it's what's written. So anyways, hello, Deva Queen. Thank you. I don't know, my eyes are kind of like looking tired. I just worked a 8-hour shift today over the weekend. Saturday. Today's Saturday. Feels like a Friday because I'm working today from home. Also, hi. I salute you. Good luck with everything. Thank you so much, Randy. Oh my god, greetings. Parlito italiano. Do you speak Italian? Because you're from Italy? I need to practice my Italian. So I guess we're on the topic of linguistics, right? So one of the comments that I got, ciao. I love it. I love it. I need to practice more. The only thing I know in Italian is like Well, now I'm blanking. You put me on the spot. Jeez Louise. Partito Italiano. I know that one is like, do you speak Italian? And then there's like more like, let's see. Nice to meet you. It's like piacere di conoscerti. I gotta practice that, but pretty sure it's nice to meet you. You can correct me if you want. I know how to take criticism, but so on the topic of linguistics, right? So one of the comments was, "How did you get interested in linguistics?" Now I don't know if James Stansell is on here. If you are, hi. If not, sorry you missed it. I was kind of late to this live, so it's kind of on me, and I fully apologize. Sí, bravísima. If I can read Italian, and as a Latina, I hablo español, entonces sí, I can understand a bit of Italian when it's spoken, but when you put me on the spot, tell me like, oh, say something Italian, I'm gonna be like, it's not coming to my brain, right? But see, as a Latina, I can pass. Same with Portuguese. I can do a little bit of Portuguese, like eu sou uma mulher, but that's pretty much it. If like I'm talking or listening to like a Portuguese song, I can pretty much pick up things here and there as well. It's a lot easier. Okay, but on that topic though, how did you get interested in linguistics? My parents studied it in college to prepare to be overseas missionaries. Okay, fabulous. So in my response, let me just pull it up so I have a reference point. Okay, I see my response. Long story short, right, is that I took a sociolinguistics class in college. So this is during the pandemic era, but like in the middle of it. So it's 2020. Yeah, 2020. So it was a sophomore. And they had these, sociolink classes. Now, I don't know what compelled me to actually take the class. I think I read the course description and fell in love. So socioling is basically the study of how language or how we view like language and social interaction. So whether it's looking at language within communities, cultures, or groups, that's kind of what sociology or socioling is. So it mixes sociology and linguistics combined together. And my teacher was phenomenal. She was very energetic, engaging. Now, because this was the pandemic era, our classes were on Zoom. Now, I may be one of those rare types where I actually thrived more on like Zoom classes because I am actually autistic. That's just not an excuse. It's just context. And I just say that because, I like to take accountability for my actions and how I am. And I've come a long way. If you watch my older videos, it's like a night and day difference. And I recognize that. But I did get older. Anyways, I digress. Maybe it's because of the fact that I'm actually autistic. I just, having the convenience to just click a button and be in class and not have to wake up. Like I hate waking up early. It was just way convenient for me. I take notes online, so I would just like take notes, and it was really easy for me to just do classes on Zoom. So my grades were actually a lot better on Zoom than they were like in-person classes. So I took that class, and that was fun. It was a lot of fun. I did very well too. It was like one of my only classes where I did very well without having to put in that much work and effort, right? Because I was taking like, like language, like English seminars. We had this thing called ESEMS, which is basically a Bryn Mawr thing where you take a certain type of literary class. It's very niche, very liberal arts coded because the ESEM stood for some person. I don't even know her name. I couldn't care less. It was like some Emily seminar. I don't know. Emily Baldwin, maybe. I couldn't tell you because I was a freshman. I didn't care. Like, I come a long way, right? But I took that class, and yeah, it was pretty good. But like I was taking like calculus, not do well in calculus. I took statistics, not do well in statistics. And by like not do well, I mean average, probably barely average that I did in those classes. But in the sociolink class, I did like very well. I think I got like a 4.0 in that class. So that's what kind of put me on to like, oh, maybe I should take more classes that are in the same niche. Now, I took a sociology class and I took a linguistics class. So I took them both, right? Like separate this time. Fell in love with that. Did well in the linguistics. Kind of stuck with that because, it was easier. So I had two different paths. Also, I don't think at my school you could have majored in sociology. I think you maybe could have, but you definitely could major in linguistics. So I just probably chose linguistics because of that. But, right, the bigger story from that is that, and it all ties back, it all comes full circle, right? So growing up, I struggled very much with English. Now, it may be hard for you guys to believe, but English was not one of my strong suits. In fact, I actually had to be in speech therapy. I had social coaching. I had like special classes that I was in, and not the type of special classes where like when you're really smart you're in them. No, these are special classes for those who are behind. So I was in those special classes and I was like in the fourth grade, fifth grade, and I distinctively remember what we were going over in those classes too, because it's like a core memory. One of the words that I struggled with was like spelling Wednesday, all the words that end in tion, things like that, and even pronouncing them. I had a speech therapist, right? She helped me pronounce words, because I had a lisp. Oh, I have a lisp, but it was a lot more prominent when I was a kid. And even now, like how I talk, I've learned to talk better and communicate better. Of course, I'm 24 years old, so you learn a bit when you get older, right? But and because people will tell me like they're like, oh, well, you talk very well, and the way that you sound is fine, and I'm like, okay, but it's taking a lot of energy and effort for me to do that, and it's not a natural thing. I still have struggles if I'm not actively if I'm not actively thinking about it, right? So that's just how I grew up, right? With autism, being autistic, having a speech impediment, speech difficulties, as well as that, being Afro Latina, and I was around so many different languages. So English was my first language. Also kind of learned Spanish at the same time, but not like sitting down and studying Spanish. I was just around it. I had a babysitter who was from Spain who also spoke Spanish and taught me Spanish as best as she could. As a kid though, I was not really on board with it. I just didn't really care. Now I do, but as a kid, no. My mom also sent me to a Russian English preschool, so Russian was also one of like my first languages. I always say Russian was the first because I don't speak Russian. I can speak Russian, I just don't anymore. So I think maybe it was just lost while I was growing up. But my mom was telling me I'd come home speaking Russian, and I'm not Russian at all. So there's that. And then in high school, because I had to go take Spanish tutoring classes, like I was literally failing my Spanish class in like middle school, about around the fifth grade, so middle school, right? I had to get a tutor, which is funny, right? Because I'm literally Latina. But I digress. My tutor told me that I should consider taking French because French and Spanish are very similar, and this is just somebody who was not a good Spanish speaker, right? She was like, you could do it. And I'm like, well, if you're telling me I can do it, and your Spanish is pretty okay at best. Like, she was my tutor, but like she was one of those types where like she just knew Spanish. Her speaking sounded very much like she just was a like American girl speaking Spanish. Like, like it just didn't sound like a Latina. She didn't have the accent. Which I'm not like trying to speak badly about her, but it just made me realize I was like, oh well, if she could do it and teach it, then like what's holding me back as an actual like Latino? What is holding me back? So I just went full like into languages in high school. So I studied French. And at my school, I went to a private Catholic all-girls high school. And at my school, of course, because it's private, there were a lot of different, it was actually like, what's the word? Similar to how colleges are. So it was like a college prep in a way where like we had like A/B scheduling, we had block schedules. So one of our classes would have been like an hour and a half. So we did like an hour and a half class, a 40-minute class, hour and a half. So it was kind of like college, right? But anyways, at our school, you couldn't just do like take whatever you wanted. You had to like go through a course catalog and pick your classes, and they had to be approved by the dean. So at my school, I told them, I was like, hey, I want to take French and Spanish. They were like, you can't do that. I'm like, well, why? And they're like, well, you've been taking Spanish since you were in the fifth grade, or before that probably. Like you just can't switch languages. And I'm like, well, no, I don't want to switch language. I want to add a language. Nobody at my school had done that. I was the first student at my school to take two languages. Now, how that worked is I actually had to test into the French class. So I had to take the French placement test. I placed into French 3, and at that point I was in Spanish 2 and French 3, which is crazy. And I learned that much French within a whole summer. I took the whole summer. I think I was a sophomore in high school. I just did that by like sophomore year. I was just doing French online, and I took French. And then by like a few months later after that, I actually went to France. So I went to France for a few weeks. I think it was 3 weeks tops. And this was a French English immersion type of camp. It wasn't like camp, it was school, right? So I went there to learn French in French school. And half the time when we weren't learning French, we were hiking. So it was like very much immersion based. We were in Chambly, France, which is like one of the hiking areas of France. Like it's just very mountainous. There's a valley. It's right by the Switzerland and Italy, like Italian border. So it's like Italy, Italian border. Oh my God, I'm like brain fart. Anyways, so it's by that area, right? So it's just like that's where we were. It was valleys. It was gorgeous, gorgeous time. And when I first got there, I was very confused. Okay, I was like, oh my God, this is too much. Like I don't know French. But by the end, I was pretty good. To this day, I'm still pretty decent in French. Like I can speak French pretty well, because that's like very close to Spanish, right? So me being like almost fluent in Spanish has helped my French. So that's how I added on French, right? The next year, I wanted to do Japanese. So what my mom did was she had me enroll in Mandarin classes. Yeah, you heard that right. My mom had me take Mandarin because I wanted to learn Japanese. I know it's not the same, but my mom said I couldn't find Japanese, so I found Mandarin. That's good enough. So you're going to learn Mandarin. And I was like, Mom, Mom, I don't know any Mandarin. I was learning Japanese. So I had to put that on pause and start learning Mandarin. And I had the opportunity, again, through my school to go on an exchange program to China and learn, just Chinese in China, or Mandarin, right? So I went to Taiwan, and from Taiwan, we went to China, kind of like, I don't know, like back and forth, and it was an amazing experience. I learned a lot of Mandarin there. So 大家好，我是美国人。Okay, basically. Hi JJ, this is Raven. I'm answering the question, right, that I got on the post, just like me getting into linguistics, right? So just to recap, and also I'm glad you're here. Hi. So yeah, just to recap, Russian. So not with Russian, Spanish, English, French, then Mandarin. Yeah. So that was like junior, senior year. I went to China when I was 17, and that was great. Got to college, kind of dipping my toes in Japanese for a year. Then I took my sociolink class as a sophomore, and I was like, mind was blown. So when I was a freshman as well, right? So the guy I was dating then, I've only dated 2 people seriously. So that's just one thing about me. So it's just 2 years with this one guy, and then 3 years with my most recent ex, right? So the guy that I was dating when I was a freshman, he was Turkish. So his family spoke Turkish, right? Because of the pandemic, we were just not on campus. So he was like, you can come visit, but I'm with my family and they only speak Turkish. So I had to learn Turkish. Not that I had to, but I wanted to, because you're not going to tell me like, oh, they don't speak English. I'm not going to just not talk to them. So I learned a bit of Turkish. That was really fun. So that was like my freshman year. So I was trying to learn Japanese and Turkish. Then by my sophomore year, I was like, okay, I'm going to go full force Japanese, also do Italian, German, okay? So I took Italian and German as well. That was crazy. Still trying to catch up with Italian, okay? Because I kind of let that fall through the cracks. But the Japanese is pretty solid. Of course, I love anime. So it's kind of what motivated me. And also back to when I was in high school as well. I originally wanted to learn Japanese. So that's kind of what I was like, I'm going to have to do it for myself. As well as that, I had met a friend who was German, and I wanted to meet up with him. He was like, we were kind of like pen pals like throughout the years. So I was like, if I'm going to go to Germany, I'm going to have to learn German. So that's kind of where I got that idea to learn German from. Plus my chair is kind of broken. I kind of broke it. So if it wobbles, it's because it's kind of broken. But yeah, let's see. That leads us to like my senior year. If we count the languages that I know, it's like English, obviously. So I'm not even count that. Spanish, French, Mandarin, Japanese, Turkish, German, did a little bit of Arabic as well. Of course, Portuguese, tried doing Portuguese, kind of fell through the cracks. Italian, brushed up on my Latin, of course, when I was in middle school. So that's what I forgot, but I loved Latin. Latin was pretty phenomenal. Thank you, Jada, you're so sweet. Like, I'm gonna like this. And did I say Arabic? I have a lot of Arabic tattoos. So yeah, I studied Arabic too. So that's like 11 languages right off the bat. And then I'm missing something. Hebrew. I went to Israel for birthright when I was like a sophomore in college. So tried learning Hebrew for a bit. Still learning Hebrew, actually. And I kind of forget like all the languages that I know sometimes because it's a lot. But in my linguistics class, we did a lot of like, lost or forgotten languages. So I did Saligi, or Turkey language. That was pretty cool as well. Let me just go back to these comments. First time here, create my message. Thank you. I'm answering one of the comments that I got in my post. So yeah. And wow, everyone should visit other countries. Yes, exactly. So the countries that I visited I've been to a lot of different places. It's a lot of places. My mom wanted me to be exposed to different countries, cultures, to give me a broader perspective on the world, just because it's really unfortunate to be single-minded. And plus, now that I'm older, I don't have that, like, oh, I have to get out and travel and see the world. Like, I don't have that mindset because I've already done it, you know. Like, now I can focus on my career, building a life, building a family, and just working on myself. I don't have to like spend money just to travel to places I've already been to, right? Because that's kind of boring. I mean, maybe it's just me. I'm a homebody. I'd rather be like. There's no place like home. Okay, I believe me. I've been to a lot of cool places. I probably wouldn't go back until like, you know, for like another few years or so. I'm good. You know, like I'm good off that. But the places that I've been to. So I went to Costa Rica when I was 14. I went to Cozumel. I went to the Bahamas. That's 3. I went to Hawaii when I was like 20. Went to Alaska when I was 18. I went to Iceland when I was 17. I went to France when I was 15 or 16. I actually kind of forget. I was in high school though. I went to Italy, Switzerland. I went to Taiwan, China, and I went to Jordan, Israel, and I feel like I'm forgetting. Oh, Puerto Rico, Mexico. Those are all the places that I've been to. Um, so yeah, I actually lost count. I was like 15 or 16 already off bat. I have 2 passports, like because they're filled, you know. So I have to keep getting passports because there's no space for them to say. Oh, and Aruba. I forgot about Aruba. That was pretty fun. That was actually very fun. Yeah, I did forget about that. I just go by the coast, right? So if I go by the coast, it's like Jamaica. What else? Oh, Dominican Republic, obviously, because I'm Latina. So Latina. Where else? Did I say Bermuda? No. Yeah, I've been to Bermuda, Bahamas. So it's Bermuda, Bahamas, geez. Basically the whole Caribbean, okay? We'll just put in the whole Caribbean because that's just kind of where I've been. The whole Caribbean, okay? Excluding, like, when I mean Caribbean, I mean like the islands, like not like South America. Although I have been to Costa Rica though, so there's that. But yeah, those are the places that I've traveled to. When I went to Costa Rica, that was a trip that really changed my perspective, and honestly, it allowed me to be so much more grateful for being an American citizen. Because seeing how a lot of Costa Ricans live, we were in like Ulita, we were in the countryside, we were on the Nicaraguan border, so we saw a lot of different parts of Costa Rica. It wasn't just in the touristy section side of things. And when just seeing like that level of poverty, I vividly remember this, right? I saw a guy, older man. Now, some places of Costa Rica, they have these like tin houses. That's like the best way I can describe it. I don't know what type of metal it is, but it looks like tin. And they're like crinkled and they're very like, there's no floor. It's like dirt floor and there's no like doors. It's just like tin. And I saw this guy in one of these houses and he had one TV. And he looked so happy and so proud just to be sitting there watching on this rinky TV. It was like, I don't even know what he was watching. I don't remember, but he just looked so grateful and happy. And that changed my perspective because at that time I was very depressed. I was very angry with myself and the world. And I was like, if this guy has almost nothing and he's so happy and just living his life, then why am I so upset and depressed? And I have so much more. I mean, I'm literally here in this country, in this beautiful place. And I just, you know, I just helped me change my perspective, you know? So I'm grateful for those trips because I wouldn't be the person that I am now without those experiences. Boston. So my mom works a lot. Well, she works in big pharma sales. She works a lot in Boston. I'm not too fond of Boston. Plus, my ex moved there, so I will not be back. Yeah, we used to go there often. Where my mom would have like a week, just like for I don't know conferences and stuff. So I'd be in the hotel room. Fun fact: a lot of my tattoos that I did while I was in Boston in those hotels. Because at that point, I mean, if you go find one of my old original YouTube channels, because I've been trying to do this for a while now, a lot of those videos are in those hotels. So I would be in, and they were pretty cool. They were pretty sweet. I was 16, so it's kind of like, eh. But yeah, thought, and they thought I was a foreigner too. They thought you were a foreigner. Wait, what's your like ethnicity and nationality? The reason why I ask the two is because they're different. Obviously, like I'm Latina, Dominican, but I'm also black. That's my race. But ethnicity is, I guess, American, really. But ancestry is Dominican. It's weird, but that's why I'll say sometimes that I'm like black, and then I'll like preface and say like Dominican because it's just my full identity. But I have common sense and I have eyes. I know I'm black, so Yeah. All right, so that's me answering that question. Sorry, it was kind of like long and drawn out, but I tend to be a yapper. Oh my god, wait! James, you're on here. Did you hear my answer? I hope you can go back and listen to my answer. I literally just finished answering your question. Oh my god, that's crazy. I was wondering when you'd come on here. I'm so happy. Wait, I hope you can go back and listen because I don't know if I can go through all that all over again. It was crazy. It was quite the story. Hi. Oh my god, Dios mío, que me pena. I hope you can can you rewind on YouTube Live? It will let you do that. I'm so sorry. I should have made sure you were on here. Now I feel kind of sad. But maybe if I can save this, maybe I can recap and then send it to you or something. Okay, yay! I'm happy. That makes me happy. Okay. So this is kind of related. This one is kind of related. Oh wait, I can't see who it is. Let me just take my iPad. Um, wait. Oh my god. You guys are killing me with these usernames, okay? I don't know how to say this, and I majored in linguistics, okay? I literally have my degree in linguistics, and I don't know what this HLIMA1HM. Lima. Lima 1HM. I guess that's a better way of saying it. Should have actually done that the first time. I digress. Okay, so Lima 1HM. If you're on here, please say hi. Also, how lovely is doing it. Oh my god, thank you. You're so sweet. I'm on YouTube Live. First time on YouTube Live. I've been live before. I know how this thing's supposed to go. Anyways, so this person asks, what's your take on the Trump administration's comments about autism? I would assume it's the ones, oh my god, I would assume it's the ones about Tylenol. Ignore that. You didn't see that. Anyways, I made a post about this. I don't know if you guys know, I saw the post or know what I'm referring to or in reference to. But essentially, because I've commented this before, as somebody who's actually autistic, actually diagnosed at 12 years old, I made a video about this on my TikTok where I was like, hey mom, when was I diagnosed with autism? And she was like, yeah, when you were 12. I recorded that video without her knowing because I was in a different room and I walked down and asked her. So it's not like I could have just told her what to say and was cut it up and stuff. No, it was a continuous thing. She was watching TV. She didn't care. She just was yeah, when you were 12. So anyways, I was diagnosed. I actually have a diagnosis. Actually, it was Asperger's. If you want it specifically, it was Asperger's, but that's not a term that's used anymore. It's actually quite offensive and derogatory to people who are actually autistic. So, but I know there's a difference, right? So it's basically just, you don't really need that much help or support when you do have Asperger's, but I am autistic, right? So I digress. I would not wish this on anybody just because it can be very, very hard and difficult, especially if you don't have the money, the resources, the mental ability, and or ability in general to support a child with autism. It's not just, oh, it's a quirky thing and it's da 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 da. I had speech therapy. I had social coaching. I had regular therapy. I had, what else? A lot of support. I had coaching, right? Life coaching, but also etiquette classes. So my mom had me in etiquette classes just to learn how to be a proper young lady. So I, know how to eat properly at a dinner table. I also grew up doing pageantry and modeling. So I have a lot of experience with just poise and posture and speaking to large crowds and speaking to people, advocating for myself. But I wouldn't have been so successful in pageantry because I was very successful in pageantry. I won a lot of national pageant titles. And these are pageants like Miss America, and those are scholarship based. They're not based off of your looks or beauty. It wasn't a toddlers and tiaras thing. You actually have to, represent yourself well and it's not as cringe, right? So anyways, I wouldn't have been successful in pageantry if I didn't have all that time, effort, and support being poured into me growing up as a kid. Now, a lot of people who are actually autistic, right? Because I made an account on TikTok. I had 56 or 57,000 followers on there just because I talk about my experience being autistic on there. They all tell me I had no idea you were autistic because you don't seem like it, which is kind of weird, but okay. But two, I guess help a lot of people because of just me being able to do what I do inspires those who are also on the spectrum to do it as well, because if I can do it, then so can so can they, or so can you, right? So I say all of that to say, like, definitely hasn't been easy, right? It took a lot of work, and it's kind of why I was so depressed as a kid growing up, because I was so different. I had a hard time learning things. It took me a while to learn things. And I'm very blessed and grateful that I was able to rise above my circumstances and at least somewhat get to a better place where I can talk to you guys like this, and I'm not like, anxious or freaking out. If you watch my other videos, like my earlier ones from like a few years ago, you'll see exactly what I mean. The type of person that I am now is completely different than like just 3 years ago. And so it's an ongoing learning experience. But when it comes to like raising a child with autism, I would not choose that. Like, if my kid turned out to be autistic as well, that's great. That's fantastic. But if there's things that I can do to make sure that doesn't happen, I'm going to do that, I think that's in your child's best interest, just because why set your kid up with a disadvantage right off the bat? You know what I mean? Like, it's very much like, there's a lot of people who are very smart, who are autistic. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying you're not going to be smart. But it's a very hard life. And a lot of people who are also autistic will probably agree with me, just because I've read a lot of comments on this as well. And some of us will even say, like, I wish I wasn't autistic, which I wouldn't say, because, that's what makes me who I am. But yeah, if my kid wasn't, I would just think that their life would be a lot easier, for better or for worse. And if that's offensive, I truly do apologize. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm just speaking from my own experiences, how I grew up. Even with the support that I got, I'm very grateful and blessed my mom was able to help me in the ways that she was. But I know it's not ideal for everyone, and me especially. I don't know if I could probably handle someone with like a high need of support as well, because it's a lot of work. So that's basically it. And how are you, beautiful? Hi, Daniel. Hi. So, how am I? I'm doing pretty well, and I'm feeling gnarly. Not like the song from Cat's Eye. I don't, not like that, but like totally too gnarly. That's my age showing for you guys. I'm like an old soul, but I'm gonna meet up with my friend in like an hour and a half. We're gonna go watch the new Tron Ares movie. It's a little bit late because this is my college friend, so I haven't seen him in like a year and a half. But it's a little late because he's like doing an event, and I don't know. I guess he's just like not available until like 9. So we're gonna get food, and then we're gonna go see the movie afterwards. And I'm excited, and I'm also very tired. Probably see my eye bags. I'm like exhausted already. I'm just like, oh my god. It's been a long day. I had work earlier. I literally just got off of work. So when I said I was going to come on here at 7 o'clock, I'm just like, I am so sorry. After I finished, I needed a snack. I was so hungry. I had lunch at 2. It's like a late lunch. And I'm just like, oh my god, I am an old soul. I am totally an old soul. Are you kidding me? These Gen Zers have no idea what I'm talking about. Gen Alphas. They have no idea what I'm talking about half the time. But, yeah, I needed snacks, so that's kind of why I was late on here. I'm so sorry. I was eating strawberries. I love strawberries and arugula. Just like raw arugula. Just like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it just came out, the movie. Also, thank you. Elon Musk started in an interview. He has Asperger's. Yeah, stated. Yes, blah. Just my mind is not with that. Okay. Yeah. So Elon Musk also has Asperger's. Fun fact. It's kind of why I can understand him, because it's like, okay, I get it. Like, we're not perfect human beings, 1, but 2, like, people, especially who are autistic, sometimes we do things that are a little off, a little eccentric, a little kooky. And I mean that respectfully, okay? I'm not trying to say anything or stigmatize whatever. I'm just saying, by definition, if you are going to be on the spectrum, you may do things that other people who aren't autistic just find a little off or different, right? And that's totally fine. It's okay. So I give Elon a lot of grace just because I get it. And not any excuses, but just grace. I mean, he's a fully grown adult. He's a man. He should know, like, how he is, but especially his tweets. Oh my god, his tweets are kind of funny. They're kind of based. I'm like, Elon, what are you doing? Someone needs to take this man's Twitter away, because it's too much. And calling it, I can't call it X. I refuse. I will never get on board with that or understand why it's cool. I don't think so. And that's kind of where I could be an old soul, right? Because I'm calling it Twitter. It's a tweet. Okay, I'm gonna go tweet on Twitter and look at tweets. I'm not calling it X posts. Okay, ew. Ugh. It's weird to me. I'm just saying. Very weird. But in terms of like other like I don't know old school type of things, I like watching long form content. Like if it's content that's like less than a minute, I can't do it. I need something that's long form. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like nothing should be called X. Dude, that sounds very like bad. Like very provocative and raunchy. Like all the raunchy and provocative sites that I know have X in them. So I'm not gonna call it that. I'm just not. Useless in algebra. Y equals mx plus b. X equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared over 4ac all over 2a. Something like that. I don't know. I don't even know what that one's for. I just use my calculator. Or I'll ask Siri and be like, hey Siri, like, how do I do this? Like, when they said you wouldn't use a calculator in real life, they lied. They lied, okay? For my job, I work in finance, right? Do you know how often I do math in my head? Never. Unless it's like 2 plus 2. I have my calculator out on my desk and I am ready quick to do like I don't even care. I don't care. Just it could be like right, because I'll do a budget for someone, right? And it'll be like 1,400 by like twice. I'll just put that in the calculator. I know what it is, but I'm not gonna risk it. Like X marks the spot. Jeez. Yeah, okay. Let me answer some of these other questions. You guys are I like being on here. It's fun. And I don't often have fun, especially on like I can calculate tips with the best. Really. When you say like tips, you mean like physical tips or just like is it online? Because I used to work a part-time job and everything was like automatically calculated, which is kind of cool. I don't know. Okay. That was the thing about autism. Okay, so let's see. So we have 12 azaleas. Well, that's really pretty. That's a pretty name, azaleas. And this comment goes, hi, Raven. I'd love to hear more about your spiritual views. I've noticed that so many people have been going through spiritual awakenings after Charlie Kirk's assassination. I know for me, the public reaction of glee and celebration was so disturbing. It brought me closer to God as well, and has really helped me open my eyes to how lost and angry people are. When I questioned someone on how they can find joy in someone being murdered in cold blood, I was met with insults. And just a comment, okay, that's a compliment. Perfect. Okay. So, I mean, like, I responded, like, not too long ago. It's very fresh, but just to recap, right? Let me just read my comment. Hold on. Because it was actually a really good comment. I was surprised. I was like, wow, this came out of me? Oh, my God. Okay. So I believe that everything happens for a reason, and I know it may seem kind of crazy to say, and I don't mean to be insensitive when I say that, but I do believe that it's all in God's plan. God has bigger plans for us all, and I think one of the positives to Charlie Kirk's assassination, although it was a horrible situation, I'm not denying that, it did bring a lot of people together. It brought a lot of us closer to God, and it enabled us to reach out and seek God to become closer with him. And that is one of the goals that God has. His goal in life is for us to come willingly to him, to choose him. And that's what I love about being a Christian. And I actually put this in this comment, right? Like, we all have free will, and that's one of the good things about Christianity, is that God's not going to force you or force us to come to him and love him. He wants us to do that on our own. And a really good way to look and think about it is, like, for example, say someone kidnapped you, so they isolated you from your family, your friends, you couldn't do anything, and they forced you to love them and told you that you have to love them. Now, would you love that person? Probably not. Probably not. Even if they gave you like food, shelter, clothes, I know some people may, and that's a whole other thing. But just generally speaking, you're not gonna fall in love or love somebody who is forcing you to do anything. And the same applies to God. God's not going to force you to love him, because that's just not cool, right? We have free will because he wants us to choose the good thing. And if we're talking about good versus evil, I've also taken plenty of philosophy classes. In fact, I was going to minor in philosophy. So that's just a fun fact about me. I didn't because it was useless. Like, why would I waste time writing a thesis for philosophy when like it's just philosophy? I could just study that, like I'm not gonna do that. I'm just not gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna do it. So, anyway, but I did love it. I did very well in my philosophy classes. But anyways, that topic came up a lot in my classes. I'm a little congested, I'm sorry. But like just good, like why is there good and evil in the world, right? If we take a look at a world where only good exists, it would not be a world people would probably want to live in. We can actually also see that in like Adam and Eve as well. It's never going to be enough. One, two. When there's no like negatives to what you're experiencing, it's hard to recognize what is positive because you need that reference point. You need to have something bad to know when something is truly good. Because if it's not, you're just given everything, eventually you're searching for that something. And we can see that story in the story of Adam and Eve, right? God gave Adam and Eve everything that they could ever want. A garden full of all the fruits and all the veggies, and everything was perfect. You just had this one rule: don't eat this fruit from this tree. It's just one rule. And it's like, if you have everything you could ever want, why do you need that, right? Of course, it wasn't enough. I guess the grass is always greener on the other side. Maybe Eve was bored. Well, she was tempted, but maybe, the temptation got to her and she was just bored, right? But, she introduced sin into the world because, I guess, just because when you have everything, you think that it's just not enough. And I just say all that because it's like a very interesting story, right? It helps me become aware of gratitude and being grateful because I've also experienced pain and suffering. I know what that's like. So it helps life become more like worth living when you know that you're living for like a greater purpose and, being proud of what you already have. It gives you a good like reference point, I guess. So that's kind of my thoughts on just like how we can turn a negative into a positive, and even looking at my own family too. Like my godmother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and thank God she's not like breast cancer free. She doesn't have that anymore. But she's become the most strong and happy and confident person that I know. Not to say that she wasn't happy before she was diagnosed with breast cancer, but when you go through a very negative situation, it does make you a stronger person. And it does change your perspective and outlook on life. And it does help you be a more, spiritually stronger person as well. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on it. And I commented about it as well. But you can only recognize the good from having experienced pain. That's pretty much that in a nutshell. And James, I'm going to read your comment. Not to put you on the spot, but do you think we too often treat God as if he were a powerful person instead of... Exactly. Yes, that's also the point. Like God isn't like... What's the word that I'm looking for? Like, I'm watching this show right now, right? And the show, one of the guys is like praying to God. He's there in church. And he's like, God, if you give me this, then I will come to church. To me, like that to me is so insensitive. It's so rude. That's not how God works, and you can't expect God to work like that because that's not the point. You have to know how to work for something and give up something, because God's not going to do it for you. He works through us, of course, and he does grant us blessings and protects us and looks over us, of course. And with the freedom of life, there's all kinds of things that can happen. But But yeah, I think a lot of people expect from God without having to put in that work, the effort, the sacrifice, the selflessness. They just want, and that's very selfish. If you're just asking someone, if you had a friend, right? If you had a friend and all you did was just ask them for things, like, is that really being a good friend? Do you think? Like, it's not. It's gotta be both ways. You gotta have to learn how to give something up. Just because you want it or it'll help you or you feel entitled to it doesn't mean you should get that. So yeah, I think a lot of people, at least in my life, they view God like some sort of like, I don't know, all powerful, like I guess like a lottery win. Like, oh well, if I just do this and then God, like just gotta give me that. And it's not transactional like that. It's not so cut and simple. And it's taken me a while to fully like be okay with it, I guess, because when I was growing up, I of course would kind of pray like that. I'd be like, God, well, if you help me pass this test, I'm gonna be the best Christian out there. Like trust, trust, trust. But the people that I know who are genuinely living very good, happy, well-rounded lives don't give God those types of requests and ultimatums, and they're not living a selfish life. They're very selfless, and I think it's very admirable, and it's kind of where I want to be and where I aspire to be as well. My grandmother is one of those examples. She's one of the most like faith-driven, selfless people I know in my life, and it's very inspiring to see how close she is with God, how unwavering she is in her faith. And I do carry her spirit. She's still here, but like that energy with me all the time. Like I'm always thinking about her. I always text her when I can. It's not every day because I don't text anybody every day like that, but she definitely is a big source of inspiration for me. And yeah, I agree. We couldn't see the light without the dark. Thank you for your response. Oh my God, of course. Of course. I'm glad you're on here. Wait, I didn't know this. This is crazy. It makes me really happy because sometimes I'm just yapping and I'm like, I don't know if anyone's really listening to me or caring what I have to say. Oh my God, that's crazy. Welcome. How's your evening been? I actually did not know you were on here, so that's pretty cool. I'm like, kind of like, oh my God. I think that's all the questions. Now it's like a free for all. We can just okay, whoopsies. Okay, that fell. Now we can just do whatever we want. There was only 3 questions. I'm not saying that. Oh, it's only 3 questions. I don't care how many questions I got, but I'm just saying. Now we get to that. Now we can have fun. We can do whatever we want. Speaking of fun, so I got a replacement Labubu, and I got an outfit for her. If you don't like Labubus, I'm sorry, I don't care. I do. Then I also have happiness, or this is loyalty. No, this is loyalty. This is loyalty. She doesn't have an outfit yet. Then I have like some on my bag. Well, let me get my. Actually, I can take you guys with me because this is actually a live stream. Ow! I think I like. Ow! Hurt something. There's like some I don't know, some plastic. Oh, this chair is broken. I need to get a new chair. I'm not poor. I'm just lazy sometimes. So then this is my work bags. Then I have this one, and then I have this one. It's a really cute outfit. I just got it from a few days ago. And then I have a happiness one, or it's no, it's love. It's love. I have love, but love's in the box. I don't like looking at her. And then what I did, so because somebody stole my other one, what I did was I just put these like ballies on them, and I just wrap them in here, and I wrap them like this whenever I have them out. So like if someone's gonna like try to take it off the keychain, which I suspect was what happened, like you could just, you know what I mean, like you just, I don't know, you could just like do that and just take it out, because it's never like falling off the keychain, because like you have to push inwards, you know what I mean, so it's not gonna fall off because it's like it's pushing inwards. But anyways, and it's weird, I didn't mention this, but the girl who I was sitting by on the train, she already had a Labubu, or maybe it was a fake one, I don't know. One of the girls had a Labubu, and I was just like, and that's kind of what prompted me to look down, and I looked down, and I was like, well, mine's not here. It was like, it was on my stomach, like if it had fallen, I would have seen it fall in front of me. It wasn't like on the side. Anyways, I digress. Into voodoo. Oh my God, no, I'm not into voodoo. No. Que locura, no, I'm not into voodoo. I could never. I would have a heart attack if I did stuff like that. I just carry them with me because they're cute. I think they're adorable, especially this one. This is my favorite one. She's so cute. Oh my God. It makes me happy. It makes me so happy. I'm just like are you a senator or a Congress member? Neither. I wish. Well, I'll take it back. The reason why I say like I take it back is because I'm autistic. Okay, I don't know if you can see my room. I'll just do a quick little like. It's a little messy, so just okay. It's a little messy. This is my setup here, okay? You see how eccentric this is? You see how like artsy this is? And it's a mess. I need to clean it. So you guys caught me on a day where I clean on Sundays, so it needs cleaning, as you can tell. But my personality is like my room, not messy, but like very expressive. And if I were in a more government-centered role, unfortunately, I would have to give up on some of that individuality. I mean, unless maybe I was the president, I don't know, but I don't want to be the president. For a lot of different reasons, it's too much responsibility and pressure. Oh my god! But if I could wear my outfits that I typically wear to work to like I don't know some like senator's office, then it's a game. It's a good game. But until then, I don't know. It's a little too like harsh lighting, stuffy environment, meetings, or I have to sit still the whole meeting and I can't get up and take a walk and touch grass. Yeah. Hey, lavender backdrop. Yes and no. Well, kind of. Well, wait, actually. I do have a microphone, fun fact, because I do sing, but maybe I should use that to make videos. So we'll stay posted. I have a light there. It's like one of those kind of lights. But my lights in my rooms, I want to get like one of those galaxy light projectors where I can project the stars. I have a sunset lamp projector, but it's on the ceiling. So if I like show you the ceiling, you can kind of see it. Yeah, you can see it on the ceiling. So that's what I have, and it makes my room like really moody. But my lamps, I can actually change the colors of my lamps from my phone. So my phone like connects to these smart bulbs, and I can pick any color of the rainbow. They also have really cool settings where you can like flicker them. They can fade. Like there's a candle setting. There's like a party setting. That's what I mean by like eccentric. My room is very artsy. I like my LEDs. I always have, always will. In fact, there was a time when I would bring my projector, my galaxy light projector, with me wherever I went. I could go to my grandma's house. I'd bring it. I'd go on vacation, bring it to the hotel room. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna bring it to the hotel room. To my mom's house, bring it. Now that I'm older, of course, that projector has since broken. But now that I'm older, I bring my silk pillow sheets, my silk eye mask, my silk pajama sets, and my silk like hair like scarf thing. I love silk, okay? Because it's good for the skin. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to get some silk products right now because I'm telling you, there is nothing better. And my sheets are silk too. I don't bring the sheets, but everything has to be silk, right? I'm just saying, when you get to a silk bed with a silk bonnet and a silk PJ set and a silk eye mask and a silk pillow sheet, oh my god, it's so perfect. You're just slipping and sliding everywhere. It's great. Oh my god, especially in the summertime when it's hot. Oh, it's perfect. Anyways, definitely consider silk everything. I also have a silk robe that I got from Japan. Well, I didn't get it. My mom went to Japan. She got it for me. So yeah, everything I have is silk. It's good for the skin, and it's just good. It's just good on the body. It's nothing, nothing a little more. So I do that now. I'm kind of neurotic. I also love skincare. I actually have a package downstairs that I gotta get. I just got some more like I don't know. It's some pore minimizers because my pores are kind of big and I'm breaking out a bit. But that's pretty much it. I don't really wear makeup or anything. I just also have like this red light brush. It's red light. It's kind of how people always say like, "Oh, your hair is so nice." And I'm like, "Well, I use this red light for my edges. Helps stimulate hair growth. It's like for the face, but for your hair." So yeah, I do this every night. Do you have an area of your place that has flags of the countries you visited? No, I wish I did. We kind of had one at my high school. It was like this wall that had a lot of different flags on it. But I should consider that. You've never had a brush like this? Oh my god! Okay. Jeez Louise. Jeez. That fell. But yeah. This Ladora, Ladura. It didn't hurt. I just like my phone. I just dropped my phone. I always drop my phone. This has so it has different settings where you can change like the intensity of the vibration so it vibrates, but it also has red light. And I just kind of do it on my edges because like the edge line is very I guess I would say sensitive, especially now that I get older. Like I had a friend who wore braids all the time, And I told her, I was like, you probably shouldn't wear braids because it pulls your edges, and your edges are gonna start, your hairline's gonna start receding. She wore braids for like, I would say pretty much the entirety of high school. I never saw her hair down. She always had braids. And to this day, her forehead is like a six head. It's like she doesn't wear braids anymore. But I'm like, honey, you don't have hair follicles here because you stretched them and you did too much. See, one thing about hair, right, is that hair is very prone to manipulation. Even if you have good hair, you don't want to do too much to it. That's why people who have very good long hair don't have like these extravagant, complex hairstyles. It's typically just down in a bun or a braid, right? I wonder why that is, because the less you do to your hair, the more it grows. So, I mean, I've learned a lot. That's kind of how my hair has been able to grow so long, because it was very short when I was a sophomore in college, which, ironically enough, we had that picture pulled up here. My hair was up to like my shoulders. My hair has always been long though, so prior to that, it was like down to here, and it's just kind of got shorter. Like the more depressed and unhealthy I got, the shorter my hair got. So at the shortest, it was like up to my ears, but at that point, it was like up to there. Now it's like, I don't know, it's like back, rib cage length, whatever. God bless, God willing, because I definitely prayed to God about that. I was like, God, if there's something you could do, please help me, get me back on track with my hair, because I am not a short hair girly. That was like an identity crisis. I did not recognize myself. I was like, this is not me. This is not who I am. I don't like it, but yeah, I do a lot to like make sure my hair is like healthy. In fact, if you ever watch me brush my hair, I have a very strange process, which I probably should do just because I didn't do it before this live, and I wanted to. My hair is kind of looking crazy, but when I brush my hair, I kind of just go through it like this first. First, I like cut my hair on my own. Probably shouldn't have done that. But I kind of like lightly brush through it to see if I can like finger detangle, and then I do the ends. So that's pretty much how I brush my hair. It's just kind of, I don't go from like root to tip. Sometimes I do, but I like to make sure I'm getting all the big knots out first, right? And then I just kind of lightly go through. Plus my hair is dyed, and with dyed hair, it's very fragile, breaks off a lot quicker. I dyed my own hair, fun fact. I did my own hair, did my own tattoos. I don't really trust people just because I'd rather be responsible for my actions and trust that my body with somebody else. I'm not gonna do it. Maybe you can give hair care advice. Oh my god, I have thoughts on it. I have thoughts. I've always had thoughts. First of all, I would say whatever he's doing with like either it's excessive combing or hairspray, it's too much. It's doing too much. Just let it go. Also, depending on family genetics, it may be inevitable to have like, hair loss. I would get a toupee. I would just get one of those hair pieces. You, as a guy, you know how much hair stuff you guys have these days? Like, a guy can get a full on like half piece thing. They could super glue it to your head. Nobody would know. I mean, you can pull on that and it's not going anywhere. It's not like those old days where like if you wind blows on it, it flies off. Like, no. Like, guy wigs and parts are very, very, very extravagant and, like, realistic. Also, Hims, or there's, like, this medication you can take to help with hair growth. But, as well as all of those options, you can literally have, like, hair follicles implanted into your head. That's going to be, like, my go-to. If I ever have, like, a receding hairline, I'm just going to be like, hey, can you just put those hair follicles in my head so they can grow? It's very hard and expensive, but if you're the president, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do that. So yeah, if I want to be rich for yeah, exactly, for a hair transplant, exactly, you know what I'm talking about. You gotta have the money for it. The technology exists. It's just having the money to pay for it. Like, you can literally do anything in this world, essentially, except for, like, maybe fly. But, I mean, they probably have that by now just because of just, I don't know, maybe AI is helping people. I don't know. I'm just, like, yapping right now, okay? I'm yapping. Would you get together with a hair piece? Oh, that's tough. That is tough. So, me and dating, that's juicy. Now we're getting into the juicy bits, because me and dating is first of all, it's very discouraging for me because it's just nobody wants to settle down. And it's like all these guys just want to like have short-term partners, like sexual partners, and I'm just not into that. So it's just been very discouraging because I want to have a family one day very soon, and I'm only getting older. Whatever. I don't think I'd be here like that single, but I do have Hinge, right? So I'm on Hinge. Sorry, my nose itches. I have a cat. And I'm allergic, but it's fine. I just sometimes I'll get an itchy nose. Anyways, I digress. So I do have Hinge. It's not been a great experience. It's been pretty awful. In fact, all the guys that match with me, I would say 9 times out of 10, the guys that match with me are bald. And my like age range is like 26 plus. How are you balding at like 20? Okay, granted, probably the 26-year-olds aren't matching with me because, they don't want to get married anytime soon because they're 26, which is stupid to me, but whatever. So it's like all these 30-year-olds are bald. And I'm like, I'm not attracted to the bald look. So to answer your question, yes, I probably would, because at least you're putting an effort, okay? Like if you lost hair, if you're receding your hair, shave it, get a wig, okay? I would be much more inclined to to go on a date with a guy if he had some hair. Because I'm not doing it to myself, okay? I'm not doing it. I've already dated people I wasn't attracted to, and it never goes well. I go by character, values, things like that. But at the end of the day, I also need to be attracted to you because that's just basic biology, So, yeah. Sun is also a star. No, I didn't see that movie. The sun is... Okay, let me look it up. OJ Siri. OJ Siri. Oh, I think I'm on live. Maybe I can't do it. Let me just ask my iPad. Let me just do it on my iPad. Hey, Siri. Can you pull up the movie The Sun is Also a Star? Oh. Oh, when was this? Siri, go away. No, I don't want to buy the movie. Oh, my God. Wow, this is a very cute couple. Oh. It's Yara Shahidi. I don't like her. Really? When did this come? I'm trying to see when it came out. I can't see. What, did I watch this movie? Hold on. I'm pretty sure I... Oh, 2019. Okay. I don't remember this one. Interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay, what is the minimum height for dating? That's also the thing that I run into. All the guys that match with me, right? Because they're matching with me, I can't choose that. They're like 5'5" or 5'7". I'm 5'7". I dated 2 guys who were my height or shorter. Never again. Never again. A lot of different reasons why. And I don't mean to be like one of those types of girls, because I've literally dated, like, my first long-term boyfriend was shorter than me by like 4 inches. He was very short. And scrawny and had very good hair, but he was very pale, blue eyes, very, very pale, blue eyes, right? When we were dating for the 2 years, right, 4 people came up to me asking me if he was my son. Yeah, I'm not even making this up. I'm not exaggerating. This is why I can't do it anymore, because when people think this pale Turkish white boy was my son, and we look nothing alike because of the optics, right? Because he was that much shorter than me. I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I can't go through that again. That was awful. Jeez. Or like they say, oh, is that your brother? What do you mean it's not my brother? No. Gosh. And then he also cheated on me. See, the audacity to get cheated on by a short dude I wasn't even that attracted to. It's just insult upon insult, and you know what? I'm like, I might as well have standards now, because when I didn't, it was awful. And I'm not saying they're all gonna be like that, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, if it's not gonna work out, at least I want to be attracted to the person, not be screwed everywhere. But like, ideally taller than me, and when I say taller, I mean at least 5'9". Like, is that too much to ask for just 5'9"? Like, I don't even care if you're like 6 feet. Like, you could be 6'1" or 6 feet. That's cool, but ideally just taller than me, and probably taller than me when I'm in heels. So actually, I think I have to be at like 5'11", because I'm 5'7". Okay, if I wear 4-inch heels, which is typical, I typically wear heels that are like 3 inches, 4 inches. that's putting me at like 5'11". I just don't want to be the man in the relationship, respectfully. Or get lifts, okay? If you're going to be dedicated to wearing lifts for your whole entire life, I'll take that. But I just I can't do the whole short thing anymore because it was just too much, okay? It was too much, like, oh, like, no. Yeah, cheated on by a shorty. Yep. Yeah, I fell for him because he had phenomenal charisma. He was also extremely smart. He had aced the SAT. He was also valedictorian at Haverford College, like top in his class. Great personality. I mean, the dude had the personality the size of like a giant. Like he was a little dude, big personality, and he could charm anybody. He had a lot of friends. And I remember when I first, because we matched on Tinder, right? I know Tinder, but anyways, I didn't take him seriously at all. I was just like, whatever, like, I just didn't take him seriously. He was very, pursuant. Like, he just kept, trying to, I guess, ask me out or stay in touch with me. And I just like that because no guy is like that with me. They just kind of like, if I don't really give them the energy, like, they just kind of just like, okay, whatever. So, like, he actually put in the effort. And I remember one day I was like, you know what? Like, I'd love to go on a date with you and get to know you because you're great. Like, you have a great energy, great vibe. Like, you're chill, you're funny to talk to. So, like, yeah, like, I'll do it. We had a date. It was phenomenal. We watched Donnie Darko and got coffee. I remember that clear as day because it was hilarious. It was a good time. But, yeah, I mean, he had other issues later on the road, too. It wasn't just the short thing. It was just the way he argued with his mother. He would actually, like, curse at his mom. So that was a red flag. I'm like, dude, why are you yelling at your mom like that? Like, this is kind of weird. Yeah, guys, like, don't pursue anymore. They just don't. Like, I'm sorry, like, why am I entitled to care about you? I don't know you. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to put in some effort because because I'm good, like, 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 guys, like, nobody asks me on a date, ever. And if they do, it's always like, hey, what are you doing? And it's like, I'm working, okay? I work at 9 to 6. I'm working, or I'm working on my company, or I'm doing social media, or I'm decompressing because I work from 9 to 6 and I have an hour and a half commute. Like, what do you think I'm doing? Like, give me a time, place, and a date, and I'll tell you if I have availability. And if I don't respond, I probably didn't see it. It's not that I don't care. I just probably didn't see it. Jeez. Okay, no, it wasn't stalking. This is on a college campus, right? So we had the same class together. We had a philosophy class. And he told me, because he was like, I saw you when you walked to the philosophy class. He was like, that's the girl I matched with on Tinder. And I didn't really know who he was. I didn't. But I used to sit in the front of the class. I had a very interesting setup. I had like my books, my iPad, my glasses. I always sat in the front, always very like, hi, I'm here, Mr. Teacher. Like, I was that kind of student, kind of like, I was a freshman, so it's freshman. And he was just like, when I first saw you walk into the class, I knew you were the one. Hindsight wasn't, but, it was cute. Like, that story to me is very cute, and it makes me smile just thinking about how you were back then. The good times are great. The bad times were very bad. Very, very bad. Like, when I mean bad, I mean because he was very liberal, right? This guy was very, very liberal, to the point where we would argue about his support for trans rights. I'd be like, why are you so passionate about trans people? Are you trans? He'd be like, no. I'm like, well, then why do you care so much? Like, I wasn't trans. I didn't care like that. I wasn't against trans people, but I'm just like, that's kind of like my conservative arc, right? Because I'm just like, you know what, it's too much. Like, what? You're out here protesting for these people. You're not even one of the like, you're not even trans, dude. Like, are you trying to tell me something? Like, it was too much. We would be arguing until 3 a.m. to the point where campus safety would be like, look, you guys got to break it up and then we just decided, hey, how about we just not talk politics? So, yeah, just my conservative arc started a long, long time ago. It's a very, very long, long arc. Okay, it was a crazy time. But that's what I'm saying. That's what he would do. He would yell at his parents, and like his mother called him like an imbecile, not imbecile. It was like an Inuit, or I don't know. It was some like out of pocket word to call your son, and I'm like, so the mom is calling him these like outrageously like out of bounds names, and the son would just dish it right back, and I'd just feel like I'd be there. I would literally be there, like either in person or like on the phone. Like he'd be on the phone with them, And it was just crazy. And of course, we argued like that because that's how we talked to his mother. So like whenever we would have arguments, it would be very, very toxic. It was very, very toxic. It was, I had to relearn how to talk to people and argue with people because of that experience. Like, God bless my most recent ex. We had our, actually, we didn't really have many issues. Like when we did, it was bad, but yeah, okay, okay. It took me a while to unlearn those habits. I can't say it was perfect, but it was a learning progress. And now, of course, I am a lot better. Of course, I am single, so I haven't had anybody to really argue with, but I know I will never be like that ever again because it is not healthy. So that's what I learned. Yeah, that's a rough commute. I would hate that idea. It's a rough commute, especially because I don't have a car yet. I have to take public transportation. So the commute itself is about an hour and a half. The full commute is like almost 2 hours because I have to wake up and then get ready, then take my scooter to the train. From the train to the office is like a scooter ride. It's another 20 minutes. So yeah, it's a long commute. And I'm like, it's not like we're in high school anymore, okay? Like, I'm not just going to be on my phone all day because I'm mentally tired. I'm mentally done. Yeah, it's definitely a red flag. I'm not lying. It was a red flag. I learned so much from my first relationship. Wouldn't do it again, that's for sure. Wouldn't, for a lot of reasons. Okay, the height aside, a lot of reasons. Wouldn't do it again. To this day, we don't talk. We used to, but when he cheated on me, I that was kind of like it. That's kind of it. He had, yeah. I'm not gonna bash him any more than what I probably already said, but which could have been taken as a diss. It's, you know, he's a great guy. He's with somebody that weirdly enough looks like his sister, but okay, you know, that's what he wants. Heart wants what it wants, and I hope they're still together because it's been like a few years. But yeah, but I have so many stories about like my preferences in dating. I made a post on TikTok and people did not agree. They were like, well, you know, like being single is fine, and like everyone's talking about like how like bad dating is, and I'm like, no, 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 no. You guys don't understand. Like it sucks. Okay, I hate being single. Okay, and I tried telling my ex this. I was like, being single is not what it's correct because I have so much I could ever want. Like I have everything I could ever want in life except for a car, but I'm getting that in a week, right? But everything else, I have a good job, I have an apartment, I have a cat, I have, you know, things to do, I have friends, I travel, I go on vacation. But when you don't have that, like, and I have friends, but when you can't share that with somebody important and meaningful with you, it's just kind of not worthwhile, you know? It's just kind of like, at the end of the day, I'm here by myself, alone, with my cat. Like, I don't want to be a cat lady for, like, you know, my whole life. Kidding me? Like, I want a family. I want children to nurture and grow and learn with. And I want a partner I can travel and see the world with and share ideas with. Like, to me, that's just more fun than just being on my own myself. Like, I have Halloween plans, just me solo. Hey, you know, that's great. Who wants to do Halloween? Because all my friends are, like, busy doing stuff with either their partners or their, like, family and stuff. My one friend's like, oh, I have like, a wedding rehearsal on that day. And I'm like, okay. And I can't like have more friends because I already have enough where it's like driving me crazy. My one friend's moving, so she's like, well, I can't hang out with you on that day because I'm moving. And I'm just like, wow, it's just me, myself, and I for real. Yeah. And I've done it before. I've been on my own before, like just doing stuff. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. Because where I live in Philadelphia, it's dangerous, okay? I kind of need to be with somebody just because, not like need to be with somebody, but like a friend at least, right? Because it's just dangerous. Being a woman out in Philadelphia, doing anything, no matter the time of day it is, it's just dangerous. So, yeah, I don't like to do stuff like on my own if I can help it. But yeah. I mean, that's very sweet. Thank you. Like, if it's all in God's plan, I can't rush it. Clearly, God's got plans for me, and there's something happening where I need to learn something. I don't know what it is. I'll know it when I get to that point. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I just have to be patient and let God work through me. And yeah, I've just realized, you know, you can't always get what you want, fortunately. People seem to think that, like, oh, well, like, people will tell me, like, oh, your life seems perfect. It must be so good being you. And I'm like, life is not like that, okay? Grass is not greener on the other side. Work on gratitude. Be grateful for who you are and what you have, because that's all you can do. Because, I mean, I wouldn't want to trade my life for anybody's, but it definitely could use some improvements. That's for sure. I don't know. I'm just gonna like yapping now, guys. But I hope so. I had my first few meetings with Turning Point, so I joined the Brexit chapter of Turning Point for Philadelphia, and I'm a city hub leader, which is fun. I'll be hosting and organizing events, which I need to get started on, so it's just another project that I have to do. As well as that, I'm working on starting my own company. I also want to move across the country. I don't really have the money to do that. We'll see. Probably not, but I'm hoping and praying that's in God's plan as well, because I will find a way. If I have to downgrade and downsize, I would do it. Yes, Turning Point. I'm not happy with them currently. And when I say currently, I mean with the whole Super Bowl halftime show performance. I've already said what I wanted to say about it in that video, and a lot of people didn't really get it. I'll probably say that for a live next week, maybe, just because it's a lot to go into. My mouth's getting kind of dry right now. But as in a nutshell, if you have reservations about Benito, Bad Bunny, performing simply because he's not like from the United States, he's Puerto Rican, but if if that part like bothers you, like him being Puerto Rican, right? I want you to look into all of the previous or past halftime performers and look at their citizenship, because a lot of them are not U.S. citizens, okay? We've got Shakira, that I know off the bat, Rihanna, we have Coldplay. Those are just 3 off the bat who are not even from here, who performed. So, yeah, just think about it. Just because he speaks Spanish should not be a threat to you. And it's a Super Bowl. He's not going to be doing some like raunchy, gyrating reggaeton and like a dress with like some drag makeup on. He's not going to do that. It's a Super Bowl. There's guidelines. It's going to be very chill. What are his lyrics like? Bad Bunny's lyrics, I will say, his most recent album, very wholesome. Like, leading more wholesome than like raunchy and provocative. Previous albums, probably don't want your kids looking at those lyrics in English, because it's probably not something you want to have that talk with them, right? Because it's going to be a conversation about it. But as an artist, I mean, most musicians, they're not singing about God and God's grace and being a Christian. They're just not. Look at Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift even. Her newest album, oh my God. She had one song on there. She's talking about some guys. You know what I mean? And that's Taylor Swift for you. So, yeah, it's just not, you can't expect a celebrity to be wholesome, at least, they're going to sing about, either have cursing in it, talking about something explicit, or doing something explicit. That's just celebrities these days. But, yeah, can you see where you want to move to? California. And I'm in Philly. I know. I hate it! I'm like, why did I get dealt these cards? Why did I get dealt these cards? I went to college here. I have not left since. I have not left. I have not left. People are like, why are you in Philly? Because I went to college here. I went to Haverford, okay? The suburbs. I could move back to the suburbs, but I'd still be in Pennsylvania. My issue isn't really with Philly, although it is really much with Philly. I don't like the state. When I was a kid, I said verbatim that I did not want to live in Pennsylvania. And I was like 10 years old when I said that. Look, here I am. Some cruel joke. It's funny. But I guess this is one of the lessons I gotta learn. I gotta sacrifice, take one to get one. No, I didn't go to Temple. I went to Haverford. It's kind of like, I would say it's related to Swarthmore. I took classes at Swarthmore and UPenn just by being a Haverford student, but I majored at Haverford. I got into Bryn Mawr, but same thing applies. I kind of just transferred over just because I did not like Bryn Mawr at all. Did not like it. But yeah, I don't know. As Haverford students, we're kind of elitist in a way. I'm just saying. You should look up Haverford stats. It's a pretty good school, if I do say so myself. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It just feels good to say that. Anyways, hi. Just for fun. How are you? You missed all my yapping. I'm glad you're here now, though. I don't know if you were able to watch that. I don't know how YouTube lives work, if you're able to, like, scroll. If so, I'm so sorry. But if not, hi there, welcome. Alright, I actually probably have to hop off, though, because I have to meet my friend at 9, and it's actually 9 now. I'm probably gonna be late. But, whatever. I digress. Let me text him, though, and tell him I'm gonna be late, too. Wait, can I... You know what? Let me just, like... You've never been back? Please take me with you. Take me with you. Whoopsies. Okay. Alright, guys. I gotta text my friend because apparently it's not, like, on my iPad, which I thought it would be. But I'll be back next week, next Saturday at 7. Be there or be square, and stay tuned for the next video. I appreciate you guys for being on here. I really do. It was fun answering questions. So I guess you can ask me more questions on the same post, or I'll probably make a new one. But do whatever works best for you, because it's a free world. Do whatever you want. Good night. And I'm gonna go watch a movie. Okay, bye.